Imagine being deep in the woods of northern Michigan in the late 1800s. Nothing surrounds you for miles but the sawdust hanging in the air and the sound of distant trees falling. Then, from between the trees, something moves. At first, you think it's a trick of the light until a figure steps out, 7 foot tall, broad, and walking upright like a man, but its head is unmistakably that of a dog. Its eyes gleam blue, yellow, you can't be sure, but one thing you are sure of is that it doesn't growl like a dog. It screams like it's terrified. This was 1887 in Wexford County, and for the lumberjacks who saw it, the nightmare of the dogman had just begun. For over the next century, reports of half-man, half-dog creatures would surface again and again from the dark pine forests of Michigan and the quiet roads near you. Some call it a hoax, others swear they've seen it themselves. But this is the story of the Michigan Dogman and the fear that wraps itself around the years, ending in 7. Hi, and welcome to Creeps Crochet, where we unravel eerie tales one stitch at a time. Today, we'll be talking about the origins of the Dogman while crocheting a Dogman plushie. If you'd like to follow along and make it with me, the pattern and materials I'm using will be listed in the description below. Otherwise, pull up your crafts, get crazy under a blanket, light a candle, and let's begin. Okay, I'm first going to start with Dogman's head while we talk about his origin stories. So, the tales of the Michigan Dogman started with those lumberjacks in Michigan way back in 1887. During this time, Michigan was the largest producer of white pine lumber, and countless lumberjacks spent their days doing back-breaking labor cutting huge pine trees down in the middle of the Michigan forests. As the legend goes, 11 lumberjacks found an animal they thought was a dog near the Garland Swamp. Wanting a break from their labor, they chased it around until one logger named Johnson grabbed a stick and poked the creature. It then let out an unearthly scream and stood upright. The loggers were understandably terrified by this encounter. They quickly packed up their belongings and left in the middle of the night. They never said much about what happened, but none of them ever returned to the area. But this initial sighting wasn't the only one from this group of men. Throughout 1887, multiple reports came forward of this creature lurking in the woods with the lumberjacks. The fear and surprise of these initial sightings was slowly dismissed, either called a hoax or just forgotten over time. Until 1917, when a sheriff discovered a driverless wagon on the roadside in Michigan. As he searched the area, he discovered 4 horses laying dead with their eyes wide open. The examining veterinarian reported that the horses appeared to have died of fright. And then in 1937, Robert Fortney was attacked by 5 wild dogs in Parrish, Michigan, which was a strange enough occurrence, but Robert was adamant that one of the dogs walked upright on 2 legs. Later, in 1957, a church in the Michigan area was reportedly attacked by wildlife, which was unsettling enough because why would wildlife be trying to enter a church? But the story became stranger when it was reported that the claw marks found on the front of the church door could have only been made by a creature reaching a height of 7'4" or 223 centimeters. The dog attacks were reported somewhat consistently throughout 1957 and again in 1967, with multiple reports stating that one of the dogs in these packs was walking on 2 feet. But none of these sightings or attacks were connected until the legend of the Michigan Dogman received widespread visibility in 1987 when a radio station DJ, Steve Cook, aired a song titled The Legend of the Michigan Dogman, which recounted a series of alleged sightings and encounters with the creature. Okay, I just finished his head off screen and I'm now going to start on his body where we discuss what happened after the song hit the radio. When the legend of the Michigan Dogman first aired on radio, there really wasn't a reaction to it. The song was actually aired twice that morning with no public response at all. It wasn't until an hour after the morning DJ got off the air that they received their first call from a man who reported that he had seen the creature that the song was about back in 1937 when he was fishing along the Muskegon River. He told the radio staff that he was peacefully minding his own business when a pack of dogs came out of the woods and circled around him. As he watched the dog pack, one of the dogs stood up and looked at him square in the eyes. He was reportedly so terrified by this event that he never told a soul about it until he heard the song on the radio, and suddenly he knew that he wasn't alone in this. After this, the legend of the Dogman sparked a flurry of interest and speculation within the community that exploded into mainstream media and cemented its place among popular culture. All of a sudden, hundreds, if not thousands, of people were recounting their own experiences and sightings with the Dogman. This led to a mass of mainstream media articles, news reports, and later, even movies made about these encounters. Okay, his body is all done with. Now it's time to start his arms and legs. As interest in the Dogman grew, it didn't stay confined to radio call-ins or newspaper clippings. Over the years, the creature has slowly made its way into pop culture. The Michigan Dogman has appeared in countless documentaries and paranormal TV shows, including Monster Quest, The Unexplained, and various History Channel and Discovery specials. These focus mainly on cryptids and North America in general. There are also independent films, books, podcasts, and YouTube channels entirely dedicated to cataloguing sightings and theories. Some treating the Dogman as folklore curiosity, others presenting it as a genuine, undiscovered predator roaming the forests of the Midwest. What's interesting is that despite this media attention, there's no single official version of the Dogman. Its appearance and behaviour and even its origins change depending on who's telling the story, which only adds to the unease surrounding it. Okay, he is already looking so cute. We just have his tail left. Anywhere you look online, you will see that the legend of the Michigan Dogman song was actually made and aired as an April Fool's joke. There are countless interviews and articles from Steve Cook talking about how this legend all started as a funny joke at the station and turned into something much larger than even he predicted it would be. But if the Michigan Dogman isn't a collection of outlandish stories bundled together to pull a prank, what is he? When I first started looking into this, I, like countless others before me, I'm sure, assumed it must be a form of werewolf that's taken on a life of its own. Or, I mean, maybe that's just my teenage obsession with Twilight and Teen Wolf talking. But if we move past the idea of Dogman as nothing more than an April Fool's prank and my deep-seated need for werewolves to be real, a few main theories tend to come up again and again. One of the most common explanations is misidentification. Michigan is home to large wolves, bears, and even usually tall coyotes in low light. Under stress or from distance, a standing bear or injured animal could easily appear humanoid, especially to someone already primed by fear. Another theory suggests the Dogman could be an ancient species, a surviving offshoot of an ancient canine, or a primate that evolved to walk upright. This idea is similar to the theories surrounding Bigfoot, although there's no physical evidence to support it. Some take a more psychological approach, arguing that the Dogman is a case of a collective folklore reinforcement. Once the story entered public consciousness, especially after 1987, people began interpreting strange experiences through the lens of the legend. And then there are those who believe that the Dogman is something far stranger. A supernatural entity, a shapeshifter, or even an interdimensional being that appears cyclically, which brings us back to the years ending in 7. Now, this is one of the most unsettling details of the Dogman lore, and that is the belief that the sightings spiked during the years ending in 7. We've got 1887, 1937, 1967, Whether this pattern is a coincidence, confirmation bias, or something more deliberate, it's impossible to say. But once people noticed it, the number 7 became inseparable from the legend, turning ordinary calendar years into something quietly ominous. But one thing's for sure, if you see the Dogman on the 7th of July 2027, you better let me know. Speaking of seeing the Dogman, I know it's not a 7 year, but look what I finally finished. I definitely made a much cuter version than the terrifying 7-foot beast we've been talking about, but I'm still so obsessed with him. So, what do you think of all of this? Is the Dogman the unintended consequences of a prank, a remnant of an ancient species, a collective hallucination, or something much darker? Please share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. Also, if you make your own Dogman plushie, I would absolutely love to see them. Please tag me on my socials. I would love to see your creations. And finally, a massive shout out to my little brother Harry for always being up to join my crazy adventures. If you made it this far into the video, please give a massive shout out to Harry in the comments for editing my videos. As always, thanks for being here, and until next time, happy crafting and stay curious.